Hey there, marketers and marketing enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of Tool Time with Recommenda. I am Mary, the CEO and founder of Recommenda, your martech matcher, here to help you identify the best marketing technology for you and your business to help you grow. We are a free tool, so before you make any marketing decisions, make sure to check us out. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about email sending, something very, very important to your business. And not all email senders are created equal. Today, we're going to focus on Constant Contact, one of the leaders in email marketing, but we'll also talk about some of their competitors along the way. One of the struggles I think a lot of growing businesses experience with email sending is that pricing is based on how many contacts you have. So oftentimes you may pick a tool that seems cost effective when your email list is, say, 500, 1,000 people, and then as your business is growing and your list, grows to 10,000, 20,000, which is fantastic, the price of your email sender tends to balloon with it, right? Which can be really, I think, paralyzing for companies or surprising at the very least. And, I think that is something you need to keep in mind when you are choosing an email tool. Please make sure that you run the cost scenarios based on where you want to go versus where you are right now. Now, luckily, it's not incredibly difficult to switch an email sender. So if the tool isn't working for you, it's not a huge lift typically to go from one email sender to another. Now, if your email sender is built into another tool, that can be a little bit different. For example, HubSpot, which has several different products, one being the marketing suite, right, or the CRM. They obviously have an email sender that's built into that. And that, is a larger investment. You're using the tool for a lot of different things. So, trying to get out of a tool such as HubSpot is a little bit more difficult. Whereas Constant Contact, which really focuses on the email sending, creating the landing pages associated for the emails and whatnot, not as big of a lift if you feel like you want to get out of it. So again, that's why, when you're using Recommenda, we take into account your full existing marketing stack so that the recommendations are based on what tools you're currently using, because that does make a really big difference. So now let's talk about Constant Contact a little bit. One of their differentiators, I think, is competitive pricing for the number of contacts. When I was looking for an email tool myself and then doing research for Recommenda, because I like to try all of the tools that are in the suite, regardless of if I have, the affiliate relationship with them, I like to try them all out because that's how we help program, one of the ways we help program Recommenda to be a strong matching tool. We actually try them and see what works and what doesn't. And then you kind of get the Cliff Note version in Tool Time with Recommenda. So what I liked about Constant Contact is the pricing. So if we turn to their pricing page, you'll see that they have, premium light, standard, premium. So it's kind of going backwards here. And then if you go down here, you can kind of see those differentiators. I think depending on if you are a solo practitioner, something like the light might work for you. I would say a lot of the features though are really in the standard plan. Things that you might want would be, the automation, resending to non-openers is kind of a quick way. Some tools you have to clone the email, create the list of people who didn't open it, and then resend. Something nice in Constant Contact Standard is that you can really quick, when you're programming the original email, say, 3 days from now, please resend this email to those who never opened it in the first place. So that's kind of like a nice way to get that reminder out at the same time. So good feature. Contact segmentation, you're really going to need that with the way that Constant Contact is set up. So that might not work for you in light, unless you're just emailing. If you're emailing everyone in your list every single time you email, then it probably is okay. They do have social media and ads integrations. We'll talk about that in another episode of Tool Time, but it's when you are trying to do more than one thing in a tool that was not originally designed to do those things. It sounds great, but oftentimes in practice is not as helpful as it seems like it will be. I'll leave it at there for now. So what is that real differentiator? I'm going to show you here because you really have to go into the pricing tiers to understand how any email sender is going to charge you, because these are just the standard. What you're seeing right here are just the standard rates, right? If I have 100,000 contacts, I'm not paying $35 a month. What am I actually paying? Well, in this case, you'd have to call them because that would be over their 50,000 limit. But let's say you have 45,000 on standard. You're actually paying $460 per month. So again, it's expensive. If you're a small business starting out at 0 to 500, right? $35 a month, very palatable, right? Like that's pretty doable. But when you're compounding this as a monthly charge, just in general, it's a lot. And if you think that this is a lot for Constant Contact, take a look at the pricing at some of the other email senders, and I guarantee you they're not as competitive. One of the other ones that we'll do another tool time on is Benchmark Email. They also have competitive pricing, but the way they do it is that the pricing is kind of slightly based on, or part of it is based on how many contacts you have. Another is how many emails you're sending per month to those contacts. So they're able to actually kind of get competitive with kind of having that hybrid way of pricing. But anyway, that'll be another episode. I like them though, so you can check them out if you're looking for very strictly just email sending. So let's look a little bit more here. Obviously, in the premium is going to have all the Constant Contact features and be the most expensive. But biggest differentiator, I would say, of Constant Contact is the pricing. Let's go into the actual tool a little bit, and I'm going to show you, I have a Recommenda version that we can look at just to give you a quick introduction to the interface. I am not going to lie. I don't love the Constant Contact interface personally. Again, every single tool you'll ever use, personal preference comes into play on how it's set up, how it behaves. I don't love it. It's not that there's anything particularly wrong with it. I just look for very intuitive setups, and I don't find Constant Contact to be that intuitive to me. That being said, another thing that I don't love, I'm not really selling Constant Contact to you right now, but I always want to be honest. Creating lists is a pain in the butt. I am spoiled. I have used HubSpot for a very long time, and one of their best features is creating quick lists to be able to segment your contacts. And I really like segmentation when it's so important to marketing. If you don't know about segmentation, we should talk about that. But being able to really send those targeted emails at people versus constantly slamming your entire database is very, very important. And I find it to be difficult in Constant Contact. I like to be able to really drill down and say, like, I want this specific list of people to get this email. And when I'm trying to do that, I have one of my clients on my agency side, it does use Constant Contact, and it's always a pain in the butt for me to create their list and segment. I find it annoying. That being said, creating actual emails is pretty easy. So they have a really nice selection of templates. If you want to, use their actual drag and drop editor, I don't think you have to be a graphic designer to be able to create something branded. If you know how to build with HTML, awesome. Like, you're going to be able to do some really cool things. But I think that if you don't know how to build with HTML, they have a very nice setup in terms of getting your branded colors in here. You're able to draw from a vast array of templates that you can customize. So I like that. And I think that, what you expect Constant Contact to do as an email sending tool, it does do very well. I mean, they are a very, they've been around for a very long time. So they've figured a lot of things out. I will say that I don't think that they figured out those lists though very well. It's very surprising to me that a company that has been doing email for as long as Constant Contact does not have a better list building feature. Do better with that, Constant Contact. I do think that they have a very good automation. It's It's automation light is what I would call it. If you're trying to create triggers and a series of emails that you want to go out to your list based on whether or not they opened it, clicked it, performed any type of action, I think their automation can handle that. They do have a built-in, survey form tool, which I think can be very valuable if you're trying to engage with your audience, which you should be trying to do, especially if you're trying to create quality content. Using built-in or just using survey tools in general is a great way to get engagement, give something back to your readers or your customers of value that makes them want to open your emails because they're like, oh, when is going to be in here? Particularly for you B2B folks out there, please make sure you're giving people quality content. Otherwise, they're going to unsubscribe. They're not going to open your emails. They do everything that you expect them to do at a very, very competitive price point. I like all of that about Constant Contact. Don't love the list building. Don't love the interface personally. As with any decision that you're going to make, marketing technology wise, I'm always going to suggest that you try out Recommenda. It's a free tool. Free. We do not charge you to use our AI platform. It will customize the recommendations to you, create a short list of technology for you to vet, saving you a lot of time and hopefully saving you the wrong marketing technology investment and decision. We want to help you grow. We want you in the right marketing technology. The right tech is out there for everybody. Finding it is the challenge. I hope that Constant Contact is the right email tool for you. But if you're, just getting started or, just want to see if it even makes the short list, please try out Recommenda. If you liked this video and want to receive more Tool Time with Recommenda summaries, please subscribe, drop a line about the email sender that you're using. Do you like it? Do you not? I always want to hear feedback because it helps me make Recommenda a more powerful tool. Thanks so much for joining me today and good luck. I hope your business is growing and we'll talk again soon. Take care.